Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me, as always, is Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you today?
Hello, good morning, Dino. How are you? Look, I got it. Good. I'm good. Actually, wait. I'm good, Dino. How are you doing this morning? Good morning, everybody. Shit. I even practiced that a little bit.
I know you did, too. I'm sorry. I should have never pointed it out. You see, this is the thing, is I will joke about stuff that's real because it's funny. Right? I have fun with it, and I point it out because it's uncomfortable. But then the problem is, like myself, you're like, well, fuck that guy, I'm gonna do it right. And then you try and you still fuck it up, and you're like, God fucking damn it! I did it perfect like 46 times, you son of a bitch! Yeah.
I'm one of those people, I take criticism well, but it will stick with me, and then I'll make sure that I fix it. And I'll make sure not to do it. I'm one of those people, like, you just gotta tell me if I'm fucking up, and then I'll stop fucking up.
See,
you see that?
And that's the thing is, because it's not fucking up to me. I think it's just funny, right?
Yeah.
And I think everyone will get a laugh out of it. So I'm like, hey, it makes sense. But the problem is, that's the thing is, you're exactly like, I do the same thing where I'll be like, oh, that's pretty funny. And then in my mind, I'm like, number one, stab that motherfucker later. Number two, then I'm like, who has seen me do this and not said it? Because then those people need to get stabbed too. And then as well,
those are the worst.
Yeah, because those are the people who are like, hey, great set, man, after you eat complete dog shit. And they're like, hey, good job. And you're like, why don't you go fuck yourself, okay? The best is when
they're just trying to say that.
And that's why it's not even, it doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, listen, if you have a shit set, but you're like, hey man, good try on the new material or something, like, that's fine, right? But I've been like, hey man, that was a great set. And another person's like, what about my set? I'm like, come on, don't fish for compliments. And they're just like, whoa, I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm like, guy, we both know you ate dog shit, and I know you're a good comic. What are you gonna do? Like, just, you didn't do it tonight. It happens. It's not a big deal. But then, like, I've had audience members come to be like, you were hilarious. And then I'll have a comic standing right beside me, and they're like, you did good too. And I'm just like, don't patronize them, trust me. It's both of us. I'm like, I don't even think I did that good.
That's the worst.
Even like,
that's
when I was saying, when I did the one up at Grand Bend, which I don't think I did very good. I'm like, I still got some laughs, and I opened with laughs. I got laughs at the end, but I was too attached to my material, and, some stuff didn't work. That's fine. But people were like, hey, you did good. I'm like, no, I didn't. It was dog shit. They're like, well, listen, you got laughs, and at least you realize you didn't do that great. And I'm like, right, at least you realize, though, because you weren't the worst of the night, and those people still think they killed it. And I'm like, yeah, I do have that. That's the one thing I do have.
I have the fact that I'm pretty, and people will just laugh to make me happy, like true. Guys. Like, yeah. At least I know that I can get some laughs from guys that, like, just want to laugh because they want to, like, me to think I'm funny because they think I'm pretty. So they're going to laugh at whatever I say.
I really?
I tell, like, the worst possible joke in the whole entire world. I could be like, yeah, so, I don't know. I'm bad at, like, coming up with shit on the spot, but just, like, a bad joke, not funny at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have somebody chloroformed in my basement. No, that's funny with me saying it. But, like I don't know. Like, I just tell, like, a bad joke, and then people are going to be like, ha, ha, ha. Some men will be like, ha, 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 ha. And meanwhile, it's not funny at all. Yeah. But it's just, I'll get the laugh. So I'm cool with it, though, because at least if I'm not getting laughs because I'm funny, at least I'm getting laughs because I'm pretty. So it's like a compliment either way. So I just take it as like, yeah, I killed it. Because either I was funny or I was pretty. One of the two, whatever. I
I can't argue with that logic. I can't. Like, it feels nice, doesn't it?
So I'll take
Even if it's fake applause, it's
healthy attention.
It feels nice. It's true.
It's way healthier attention than what I'm used to going for. So I like.
You know what? See, I like, I've had shows where I invite a bunch of friends, and then I realize that those friends aren't like laughers and clappers. So they'll just be like, oh, that's funny. And I'm like, motherfuckers. Every time.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is, I've had where I've invited friends who do laugh, and then I just realize, oh, that joke just ate shit. So, and I'm like, I'm kind of happy about, because I'm like, you know what? At least I know they're not just sycophants. Like, they'll be like, yeah, that wasn't that good. And then I'll hear one person go, and I'm like, that guy got it. You're all stupid, right? That's what I like to do.
I like the fact when I look like I've like traumatized people. I look out there and they just look at me like stunned.
I remember,
and then I come up with something and I'm like, it's okay, it's cool, it's cool.
I've seen that happen. It is really funny, guys, because she's like, it's just a joke, don't worry about it. And you're like,
it's just a joke, I'm good.
And the thing is, even no, but that's the thing is, there's a nuance to it. Your voice gets a little bit higher, be like, hey guys, it's just a joke, it's okay, I'm okay with it.
Because I get nervous. Because I'm like,
you'll make a joke about like something really not funny at all, and everyone goes, and you're like, I'm okay, guys, it's just a joke, and they're all like,
it's cool.
And they're like looking around, they're like, I don't know what to do. It's very funny.
But it's so funny because other people make fun of it, right? But it's just people can see it happening to me, so they're like, ooh. But I'm like, meanwhile, the comic before me has made fun of it, type thing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's okay because I can sleep at night. So what? I have to have showers with a wire brush and rock myself to sleep. It's okay.
That is not funny at all. That was, you know what?
I think it's fucking hilarious.
I always
see that, like, it makes me laugh.
See, I would spin that even worse. As soon as as people, because people in the community know that we're doing this podcast, they don't necessarily watch and listen because that's just how it is. But even still, you may want to be like, "What's the big deal?" I'm like. And just say, like, it's the same having a podcast with Dino. Afterward, you're like, you just gotta scrub yourself clean because you're like, this guy's a pervert. Yeah. You know? It's like, I
don't know how many times I've been naked and in some sort of weird position.
That might actually get viewership up. I'm just saying. Just throw that out there.
Ooh, speaking of getting viewership up, I decided, because I'm trying on heels and stuff for my photo shoots, I wore some funky heels, everybody. I can't get it in the camera. Ooh. For all our foot fetish people, because Dino said we might have feet people, so I was like, ooh. Wait, I didn't pose them properly, did I?
No, you gotta.
There we go.
Yep. I said, okay, so I don't know where I find this information, guys. I just find that, and I told Crystal this, and I'm like, listen, you should know, because she has some pictures with her feet, and I'm like, some people on the internet will like pixelate their feet, so as some people will zoom in and just take that photo. Because they're fucking perverts.
So if they do, I wore fancy shoes and my toes are painted.
Right?
Just in case.
We'll get you like an anklet or something and really jazz things up just to make people lose their mind.
Really jazz it up. Ooh, I don't know if I want to be the anklet girl anymore. I read this thing and I stopped wearing an anklet from there on.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to wear it. I wore one too all the time.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. That's the thing is, and now especially, we talked about this yesterday, how it's like people are just assuming control over certain things, like the OK symbol. That's 666. You're like, no, it's I'm okay.
No,
it's okay.
Shut up. Whoever thought of that, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Whoever smelled it dealt it. Just saying. That person, whoever thought this means 666, that person's creepy. Somebody find
Listen, guys, if you
They're
serve the Dark Lord, we welcome you.
Themselves.
We welcome you as a servant of the Dark Lord by all means. And we absolutely do. Absolutely. It's nice to find one of my own. I like to think I am the devil versus serving the devil. That's not my really thing. I'm a bad servant. I'll be honest with you. I don't serve well. I more bark orders well. I encourage people or motivate people well. But serve, not so much. I would be the guy.
I have this really great saying.
Hit me.
That like something about me intimidating the devil, like something about that. Like I had this post and I had it up for a while, and it was something about like the devil whispered to me, and I whispered back, like pretty much, let's do this. Like,
it's like it's the devil whispers in your ear, there's a storm coming, and my response to the devil is, I am the storm, right?
Yeah, that's
But
it.
you're like, bitch, let's do this, right? It's, yeah. Well, I had one where a lot of people are afraid to put their feet down from bed. And there's a weird saying attached to it about the devil could touch your feet kind of thing. And it's like, I want to get up from bed, put my feet down, and the devil say, shit, he's awake. That's what I want. I'm like,
Yep. I had that.
Yeah, where you're like,
I had that on
you want some of this?
on a wall
I'm
thing.
like, and actually, you want one of my favorite jokes? It's just a street joke I heard years and years ago. Was this old farmer was in church. He's sitting right in the front pew, and all of a sudden, in this church, the devil appears, and complete chaos. People running, people being lit on fire, just explosions, and the Lord of Darkness, Satan himself, appears. And this farmer's just sitting there, doesn't move. And he says, do you know who I am? To the farmer. The farmer goes, yep. He goes, and you're not afraid of me? All these people cower from my presence, and you don't even flinch? The farmer goes, well, been married to your sister for 50 years. Can't get much worse. And you're going, you know what? Everybody refers to this, like, look, I love my wife, but I will still refer to her as like the old battle axe, old ball and chain. Why? Because it's funny, right? And it has no regard onto her. My wife is fantastic. She treats me like a king, and I am a shit husband. Let's be honest, right? What I bring to the game is that bills are paid, and as well, I don't like molest people. That's what I'm like. I don't sleep around. I don't, I'm like, I'm a decent wife. I'm not a good husband, or I'm a decent wife. I'm a decent wife, people. I'm a decent wife. You should know.
And he's so pretty.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
I suck at apologies.
I do suck at apologies.
He's not apologizing for being a good woman.
My shirt today says, I suck at apologies, so unfuck you or whatever.
Whatever.
That's, yeah. You know what the best part is? Like,
And he doesn't mean it, though.
Me too. You know what? I feel like I do mean it specifically for people that I don't know. Like, the idea that people just randomly, well, you should apologize. I don't give a shit about you. I don't know you. I don't know nothing. And that's the thing, is people just assume that they're entitled to those stuff. And
nobody should tell anybody they should apologize. Like, unless you're a parent of a child that's just, taken something from another child or hit another child, nobody should tell anybody to apologize.
If you beat someone else's child and you don't know that child or that parent, you should probably apologize. I think that's a fair... That's fair. Like, if you're not... Unless you're in Walmart, then you don't have to. It's like a... That's an unwritten rule that in Walmart, you don't have to apologize for shit. You just stand there and go, fuck this place, and blow things up, or like just walk around smacking kids. You can do that in Walmart. That's pretty good. I'm just saying, if you have some built up rage and fury, go into like a kid's play place at McDonald's and have at it and see what happens. I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be funny. Like, I can't do that. I don't really fit in the play place anymore. I would get stuck. But I'm saying, like, someone who's smaller, I would say, hey, get a GoPro so we can all watch it live, because that's the best part.
They don't let you go on there anymore. You have to.
That sounds like a challenge.
So
that sounds like a challenge to me.
I went to that. They had like this bouncy place, like where everything was all like this big air, like it was basically this big beautiful play place. It was like I really wanted to go on
trampoline place like that. Or
kind of. It was a lot of like soft, bouncy stuff, like a giant bouncy castle place, basically, right? And they had ball pits, a whole 9 yards, and it said 13 and under only. And I'm like, there's so many kids that were bigger than me.
Hey, we'll shave your head and just put on a ball cap sideways. Hey. I'm like, I'll give you like a little. I'll trim my beard and give you like little shit hairs to wear as like a little shit mustache. And you'd be like, yeah, I just turned 13.
My head. Can't I put my hair up?
Actually, you know what?
I know, I don't have tits or nothing. Why did it to be a boy?
I left it at shaving her head and giving her a fake mustache. I didn't go below the neck.
Yeah, but why do I have to be a boy? You're like shaving my head and giving me a fake mustache. Why can't I be a girl?
Because you can't pass for a young girl. You can pass for a young man. That did not come across the way I intended it to.
COVID has had me ID'd 3 times, thank you very much. And that's the only time I've tried to buy things that needed ID. So there. And it was from people that generally don't care to ask for your ID as long as you're giving them money. And 2 of them were women, so they weren't just trying to look for my address.
You know what? That actually brings up a good point. Your mouth is like totally full of stuff right now. She's like...
I knew you were about to talk.
Oh, it's my fault. Yeah, well, you know, I should be like, what do you think, Crystal? And just wait. Perchance. So, I find, you know what, you brought up something, and I never actually thought about that people will ID women to get their address. I'm like, that is the creepiest shit I've ever...
Cops will pull you over to talk to you and to flirt with you. And then they'll want your, like, what do you do? Where are you, like, and they'll sit there and flirt with you. And you're like, dude, I'm on my way to work. Like, okay, are you going to give me a speeding ticket? No. Are you going to give me a warning? Probably not. So can I just go? Like, I'm pretty sure I've been driving for 20 years. Not super legally.
She started when she was 11. That's what happened.
I have like never a speeding ticket, never, like, mind you, I'm not an asshole driver, but I have no driving infractions. Like, other than the legal, like, the paperwork side. My paperwork hasn't always been super up to date.
Oh.
But other than that, like insurance stuff, but no, like, driving infractions. Like, no speeding tickets, no accidents, no...
I didn't technically have a license, but no tickets, guys. That's what's important.
No, you can still get tickets with a license.
Oh my god. I'll be honest with you, Crystal. I've never been pulled over because I was just so good looking. I'll be honest with you. I know it might surprise some of you at home, but that did actually happen.
I'm not saying that's exactly why I'm pulled over, but
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what she said was, I got pulled over because I'm so goddamn pretty. That's what she said.
Yep, that's
she said,
exactly.
You wouldn't get it, fatso, because you're ugly like Shrek. And I said,
no, but they check your ID, and stuff for nothing. And they're sitting there smiling at you the whole time. And you're like, fuck off, buddy. Like, clearly, if you want to look up my record, go ahead, run my name. See if you're still hitting on me. Or whether or not we have to have a talk.
What did you just eat? Holy shit. All of a sudden became so savage. She's like, oh yeah, why don't you go do that there, son? Go do that and I will beat the shit out of you and come back here and you'll still pay for it. It's like, all right. This has gone south real quick. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Sometimes the West Side just comes out. I'm just like, what? The Windsor in me comes out.
She's got a Leonard Skinner shirt on and a baseball cap. And she's just like, fuck this show. This show is going to shit real quick. Fuck it. I'm going to beat up cops and they're going to pay me for it. I'm going to go through place, smacking babies, just psh, 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 psh.
I do and will not beat up cops.
I beat up a cop. The funny thing is...
I would, some of them.
No. Well, that's the thing is...
There are some yucky ones.
Well, so...
A lot of yucky ones, but they're really good ones.
Rogan was saying how there are... I think in Seattle, he was saying that there's a law where it's like it's a fair combat. Like, if 2 guys want to fight and they both agree that the cop doesn't intervene, just lets them fight. And I was just like, I would love to live in a place like that because that'd be fucking wicked. Because I do a bit where I tell people how, like, Victoria used to have Nissan Versa. Nissan Versa is a very small car, but it's a very roomy car. So Nissan, we're happy to take your sponsorship, just so you know.
Yes, please, because I need a new car, but Jeep would be better. Love you. Anyways.
They have 4x4s, it's great. So the whole thing was that the Nissan Versa, I can drive it comfortably, and I could get out and sit behind myself, which is like, I can't do that. I drive a Cadillac that my father left me. I can't do that, okay? In the Cadillac. It's just not enough room. So it's an amazing car. And the thing is, like, I'll have people watch me get out of it, and they're like, "How the fuck did that happen?" And then,
like those little smart cars.
yeah, well, I've never
fuckers
been
get
in
out
a
of
smart
those.
car. I've heard good things, but I'm like, yeah, no, that's a driving coffin for me. I'm not interested. But then I've been at malls where people watch me, like, all like beep beep for the Versa, and as I'm walking up to it, people are like, watch, and then I'll get in, they're like, how the fuck did he take his legs off? How did he sitting in that car? So there were times,
your
and
car.
I made this. What'd you? So
in your car, the one that I've seen you in.
no, that one. That one's
sorry.
bigger. So she just got a new car and she got a Kicks. It's actually really nice. It's very roomy. We would love it. But the old car, I don't know. I don't think you saw me in it. I don't think so. But
No.
it's a small car. And the funny thing is that I do a bit where I say how it's like, you know, I'm always cautious around police because of my size, and people are like, it's funny because I don't look like a blueberry from Willy Wonka, right? I look very intimidating. I'm very broad-shouldered, big chest. I look like I'm a powerlifter, kind of that kind of build, right? And I walk with confidence. So I've been pulled over by police, and I'm like, listen, guy. Like, I was in Victoria's car, and I'm like, listen, I can't reach my wallet. I'm too fat. And they're like, well, okay. So I'm like, I need to get out of the car to get my wallet. And they'll just be like, okay, well, keep your hands up and use both your hands. I'm like, dude, if I can put both my hands outside the car, we wouldn't be having the same problem, right? Doesn't make sense. But the thing is, when I do open the car and both my hands are visible, I'll start to get out. And when I'm like halfway to 2/3 out of the car and I keep getting out of the car, they will take 2 steps back and put their hand on their gun and be like, what the fuck are you? And I'm like, everything's cool. Just relax. My hands are visible. We're not, and everything's fine. I'm just gonna get my wallet. I'm gonna use 2 fingers if that's okay. And I'm gonna grab my wallet. And they're just looking going, what the fuck? Because like, I'm just at that right size where I tap into that lizard brain, and people just look at me and they're like, fuck that shit. And I find it great.
Yeah, cops look at me and they assume that I'm a working girl, or that I'm stripping, or that I'm like on something. I just got that white trash, like, you know. But yet I'm pretty, so they think that I'm, you know, high class.
That's the winner. That is the winner. As long as they think you're high class.
That's the winner.
She just randomly shows her feet. Hey, guys. Hey, these are feet. I hope you like them.
So like and subscribe.
That's a good point. You should, like, share, and subscribe, guys.
To Morning Motivational.
Yeah, we're not just
Morning Motivational
FYI,
Rant.
we're not just on YouTube.
Dino, the genetic marvel, and his co-host Crystal Morency. Come on down, folks, for a good time.
Not that kind of good time. More like a talking good time, a social good time, a critical good time.
It's bait and tackle, Dino, bait and tackle. I'm the bait, you're the tackle.
I believe bait and tackle is not the saying. I believe it's bait and switch. However, I do like bait and tackle because it works, still works. Bait and switch still works too. Is you tease them and I go, hey, good looking. They're like, whoa, I'm not interested. But yeah, guys, like, share, and subscribe. We are not just on YouTube. We post updates, which apparently, so I have things uploading right now because we started at 10 o'clock, which means I haven't shared it. It's on all the websites and everything, but hasn't actually been shared. So sorry about that. Oops. But yeah, we are available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify. So please feel free to listen to us on the road. We won't be on the road. You'll be on the road. Something like that. I don't know how it works. I just know it needs to be
on
out
the
there.
road. We need to do like adventures, like take this podcast outdoors, or take this podcast, because we can videotape, and as long as we get Wi-Fi, we could do it from a McDonald's. We could do it from
We're gonna go live from the play place in McDonald's. They always have like that one adult chair sitting inside the play place. That's where we'll be doing it. and just have little booger kids
Ew,
walking
then
up.
we're gonna be creepy.
Yeah.
We won't have kids.
The little-
we're gonna have to take some.
It's gonna be like the little booger kid, you know, the one who's got like a full booger mustache, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "Ah!" You're like, "Why don't you go rub on all those plastic balls that have not been disinfected since the '60s?" And they're like, "Okay." And just.
So we'll catch some COVID and some Cokes. It's cool. I don't know, but I feel like we should take this outside or something. I wish I had mobile data. I'm going to have to invest in mobile data for this. So we can go for more than just public places where they have Wi-Fi.
The funny part is that, like, so sometimes when my internet gets kicked out, I'll just switch to my mobile data on my phone. And the problem is it takes about a gig to do an episode. So I'm like, oh shit, this is like one of the first months I've actually almost maxed out on my data. And I'm like, yeah, we need to actually use the Wi-Fi because I am out of data and it just gets more expensive from here on in. So
Right?
Yeah.
So I got Wi-Fi too.
Well, you know what we can do is, I was thinking this too, is we can start doing some live motivation through Instagram or something like that and just do a full episode. But it would be
I don't know how to chat to people. So I can't chat to people. I don't know how to type that fast. Fuck, that's why I don't text people back and stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh, come you don't answer me?" I'm like, dude, unless I'm super stoned and I'm concentrating, you're getting like, but when I do, it's like an essay.
That's true.
I'm like balls deep. So when I do, I say it all at once. I'm like, whatever I got to
So
say.
just so you know, if I'm going to respond really, it's going to be an essay, and we're both going balls deep on this one. Why? Why do we have to go balls deep?
Because it's probably the last thing that I'm going to say for like a month. So it's... I just get distracted. And it's not like I mean to ignore people, because I'm not like that. Who the fuck am I?
It's not true.
Like,
She purposely doesn't respond to texts from me on a regular basis. Just so you know. Regular basis.
Well, I will put it down for a minute because I know that I got a lot to say, and I'm like, this is gonna take me a while. Or I'll think that I've sent it, and then I'll go back and I'm like, how come this person hasn't responded? And then I notice that I haven't sent it, or I notice that I've only made it halfway through of what I was gonna send because I got distracted by something shiny, and I was like, oh look, there's a butterfly, and like I'll forget what I was doing.
I'm literally will lose my mind if I don't respond to you. It's because I'm in some sort of coma or something. Like I am so like, if I see a notification, we talked about this earlier, where I'm like, if I see it, someone's messaged me, I message back immediately. Even stupid questions. I had one guy who's this really piece of shit comic in Toronto. He's the kind of guy, he's like, yeah, everybody should quit comedy. And in his head, he's saying, you should quit so I can take your spot. And you're like, number one, there's no spot for you. You suck dick. But he messaged me at like 4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, hey, is your name Dino short for dinosaur? And I was going to actually explain it. And then I'm like, just responded no. And that was it. And I'm like,
you were going to explain it. You were going to acknowledge this person.
Yeah.
I don't acknowledge these people. You don't give them that. Don't give them
well,
that.
no, I just responded with no.
You just don't
I just responded
it.
with no. Because I'm like, you're too stupid to even understand. And the worst part is, like, he's has a cultural background. Like, he's not just a Canadian where he's got nothing, right? Like, you have being French. You have, like, this guy he's actually got a cultural background. And you're like, dude, you should know better that this is a stupid question. But I get very perturbed by stupidity. When people just choose to be stupid, I just want to punch that person right in the face, because they're like, well, I don't want to know that. And you're like, what do you mean you don't want to know? You should want to know. You should always want to know.
It was a joke. Like, he was trying to it was just a really bad joke. That's what that was. It wasn't that he didn't know anything.
Oh, no.
That.
He's
just
pretending
really
to be incompetent.
Bad joke.
He's pretending to be incompetent. That's what it is. And that bothers the shit out of me, because it's not a real person.
Don't let yourself be bothered by somebody like that.
Everyone bothers me.
Don't be bothered by him at all. You're giving him this moment. You're giving him this energy. Take this energy and put it towards something good.
I'll tell you.
That you're giving.
I would give him some balls deep energy.
Ew.
Yeah.
Dino.
Forcefully. Fuck that guy.
No, you wouldn't, Dino. No. You do not want to get balls deep into this person.
Oh,
you
fucking
do not want to
shit.
get balls deep.
Well, not my balls. That's disgusting. I wouldn't rub my balls on
You
him.
just said forcibly that you want to get balls deep in this person.
Oh, not sexually.
No,
like,
no, you don't.
Like in a bad way. Yeah, what I'm saying is
You're like, forcefully, I want to get
I
balls
would
deep
put him
in.
down and forcibly rape him. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's not good. That's definitely not appropriate.
Yeah, that's not what you want
So
to
this is
say.
going to be our last
Not at
episode,
all.
guys. That's my fault. I did it. It only took like 51 episodes, and
Yes!
I'm the one who's getting canceled. So,
Yes.
no, I honestly,
This is not the first time. Wait a second. Like, what is it?
I'm going to say it's the first time, because I'm pretty perfect, let's be honest. We've all figured out that I'm pretty spectacular, okay?
So perfect.
Yeah.
So spectacular. Amazing. A genetic marvel, folks. A lord of all lords.
The more she talks, the more sarcastic it becomes. And I find that only real friends can do that. That's nice. Where she's like, you are a piece of shit. Incredible.
No. No. I think it's amazing and spectacular. And I wish I had some lights for you. Ooh, I got a flower for you from the garden today. There you go, Dino. That's just for you and your pretty self. Oh, and it matches your red shirt. Look. If we
What
were
the
there, you
fuck
could
is
find your
happening
ear.
right now?
This is just a fucking coincidence, but it's awesome. Because it matches my red heels.
Back to the feet. Okay, let's do.
We're trying to get viewership. Do you want that big Darth Vader emblem chain or what?
I guess. Darth Vader like this.
Yep.
I would put like Mr. Potato Lips outside of Darth Vader's mask if I would just be like, bloop, and just put him on there. So he's like, hey, what did you do to my face?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I need some canvases. I need to go get some canvases.
She make it sounds like
Guys,
I'm like,
if
oh,
you
Dora,
look
I'll
at
just rip off
Greece
some
or
skin and
something-
put some canvas. What the hell, woman? That's crazy.
No, because I want to paint all this stuff that you talk about. And I'm like, fuck. I don't have any blank canvases. I've painted through COVID. I've done so many redos, like that middle finger there. That's about 10 different paintings underneath that. Because I run out of canvases, so I just cover it in something. Like, and that's why all those little triangles, that's actually paper. Because I couldn't, like, I've got like 10 layers of paint under it.
I don't know.
I started painting on
assuming
the
she's
wall
still
over
talking.
on the one side. Cause did I freeze? And I'm not even using my computer this time. I'm using my tablet, so this one's not on me. Ew, that was a gross burp.
I have no idea what's happening there,
I'm
guys.
sorry, guys, that you have to hear Dino's gases. It's totally him this time. Again.
Hello.
See, because I'm not frozen. I'm on hello. I heard that gross burp. Why do you
well,
get so
fuck me.
Captain... he just froze again.
Hey.
He's leaving me. Hey, why do you get so Captain fucking negative every time we freeze?
I don't know.
Like, he gets all like, fuck, I don't know what's happening, guys. Fuck this, fuck them. Fuck it, here we go. She's just, where'd she go? Fuck, here we go. Like,
That's just how I am, okay? You know how many times we started this? She's like, hey, what's with that face? I'm like, that's just my face. It's just my face. She's like, why are you so negative? Because I'm a negative person. I hate everything.
it's stuck cunt face.
Yeah, I'm like, this is my... I just walk around like this.
This is why negative attracts negative, Dino. Negative attracts negative. You want to get more people to follow you and stuff. People don't want to follow this because they don't want to feel like this all day. They want to feel like this. See this face? This face looks like you just watched a puppy get hit by a Mack truck.
No, that's his face.
Like, that's what that face is.
That's his face.
You're a fucking evil motherfucker.
Ta-da! No, I don't encourage any sort of
You
crime.
would cry. You would be in hysterics. You are such a
No.
woman. You know
What
what,
the
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants
That
is.
is not an
You can't
exclusive
tell me that you
detail.
wouldn't
That
be
is
bothered.
not okay. Listen, it is not fair to you for you to say that those two are correlated. Okay, and number one, if it was my animal, yes, I would cry for it. Somebody else's,
Any
I don't
animal.
really give a shit.
Nope. He's
I
lying.
would laugh.
Lying.
Oh, okay, you know what? Let's amend that. Let's say
Lying.
anything that can be termed a baby, so like a kitten or a puppy,
Kitten or a
not
puppy.
okay. A cat or a dog, shit happens.
I'm telling you guys, okay? A cat could get hit that attacked this man every single day. Let's say this cat attacked his face every single day, and it could get hit by a truck. I guarantee you this man would be in hysterics, wrapping it with a blanket. Oh my God, they're kidding. And then it would be a whole thing. He wouldn't be able to record because he'd be all gassy because he's an emotional eater, and I'd have to listen to it, and this is how it would
fuck
go.
you, Crystal. How about that, you shitty fucking no-feeling son of a bitch? How about that, you heartless harpy? Fuck
I've got feelings. I'm just trying
you go to
to
fucking
tell you
hell.
that you do too.
You go to hell with your feelings, you son of a bitch. Your feelings
I'm
are
just trying to
shit.
let you know
Okay?
that you have some too.
I have no
That's what I'm
feelings
trying to tell you.
whatsoever. I will murder every person in the world. On the world. That's right. I said it.
On this flat world that we live on.
We definitely don't have a flat world. Hey guys, like, share, and subscribe. Hi. We'd love to have you. And for all my friends at Starbucks, you guys are awesome, by the way. My heart...
Yes, you are. Your customers are douches. I feel so sorry for you. Anybody that can afford that kind of coffee.
You know what? Fuck you, okay, asshole? I like nice things. You can go eat shit and die, okay? Fucking prick. She's like, oh, you star douche cup. You know what? It is just a large, thermally safe cup that holds a lot of water, because I drink a lot of water, because I'm a large person. I don't think that deserves to be called a douche. Okay?
I just like calling you a douche. This is how I show my gratitude and my appreciation for you as a person, is by being sarcastic. And you know, like, we have to be comfortable with each other. We have to tell each other, because if who else doesn't tell each other this? Do you think somebody else is going to tell you something that's humiliating? No.
I'm sorry. I just thought of a really inappropriate joke to go with that, and I don't think I should say it, but I'm gonna say it because it's really funny. Where
Do it.
It's like, you know what, guys? I don't know about your friendships, but I would much rather prefer like an over the pants handy than any of that. And that's not true, but it was just I couldn't resist that joke where she's like, "Hey, I'll tell you the truth." I'm like, you know, if we're really friends, I'd appreciate that rather than. And you're like, it's not appropriate because I'm married and I love my wife and everything, but it is still funny. I think it's still pretty funny.
And I like giving you the sarcasm and the making you belittle yourself and making you cry at night and wonder if you're really okay. I just want to make you cry just once because you said that it's really funny. So
I never said it was funny. I said I was an ugly crier and it was horrible.
And I want to see that.
She's like, I want to see your pain. I'm going to run over a bunch of cats in front of your house and just watch you be like, oh, why?
I don't want to run over cats. I'm not evil.
Sorry, she wants to run over dogs. That's what she wants. Or human babies.
No, oh my.
She definitely wants to run over human babies.
No. No. Okay, is this baby like a tucky baby? Is this baby like a tucky human?
Why?
How colic is this baby?
So depending on how annoying your baby is, Crystal might be willing to kill it. Just so you know. On a scale of 0 to, like, crying
like,
for no reason.
Baby already... Did the mother die while giving birth to this baby?
What the fuck? Why is that a thing? Like, you know, if he killed his mom, he definitely deserves to die. Like, why? What the hell? That's...
Wonder if he's like the alien baby that's come to take over the world. I can't say anything. I love aliens. We're cool. They're my people.
All I'm saying is, I humbly will obey our robot overlords when they come. I've always wanted you. I hope you'll upgrade me because, I'll be honest, I have not that great of knees, and they've been making a lot more clickety-clack sounds lately, so I would love, like, new legs. Anything from, like, the balls down, I'm happy to get replaced. That's definitely...
I'll give you the friendly tour of humankind, and please don't watch the other people. Don't end up like them. They're weird. They're weird. You're not nice.
But we just kill small animals, apparently, and that's okay.
No.
And I'm apparently a
I'm gonna
lady.
take them to go make French. Yeah. We all know this from many episodes before.
That's
You've
so
shown
not
us your
fair.
lacy panties.
I've never shown anyone lacy panties on me. I'll tell you that right now.
You have on here lots. We've seen them. We've seen
That
them
is-
pink frill and all, little bow in front.
Those would not be attractive. I'm just just like frilly. I just picture like frilly underwear filled with like Franks and beans, and you're like, that's not. It's just not attractive at all.
Franks and beans, Franks and beans.
Is it the Frank or is it the beans? It's a combination of the Franks and beans, guys. It's they're all just jammed in there because there's not enough room. I don't think there's enough room. I'll be honest with you. And that's not me saying I'm some sort of donkey person. I'm just saying I just don't think that they have enough room.
It just means he's got some big old balls. They're like,
Somebody,
big old horse balls. He's like,
somebody sent me a video from like one of the Chaz things or something where it was all.
down like this.
They do not hang down like that. They are in the process of going like that, but not yet. So, anyways, somebody sent me a video, and it was they pulled up to a guy, like they're driving really slow in traffic, and there's a guy running along the double line in the middle of the road, and he's just completely naked. And as they pass him, they turn, and he's got this really small dick and these massive like big avocado-sized testicles, like 2 avocados. Like, not even little avocados, like I'm like prime seasoned massive avocado balls. And they're like, holy shit! And they use the N-word, and they're like, that N-word has some big old balls. And it's black guys are recording, so it's fine, but you're just like, those are some big old balls. Like, and the guy, you can tell the guy is like way out of his head. Like he is hopped up on some fucking fancy Kool-Aid. Like this guy is fucked out of his head.
Some good
And he's like running, and they're like,
crack-a-lackin'. Woo!
he was definitely lacking crackers. Definitely lacking crackers. So, but they're like, hey man, those are some big old balls. And he's like, yeah, they are. And he just keeps on jogging down the road. And they're like, as the camera's like, those are big old balls. And he's like, yep, they are. And just keeps on. And they're just like bouncing on top of his legs. And you're like, it was horrific. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
I like when if they're big enough to like slap your ass as you're going like a little bit, you know what I mean? Where you can feel them kind of like slap your ass from behind. Or they kind of like slap your clit, I guess. Like they're sometimes they're at a good angle. Depends on like if they're a good size, they can like get you. And you're like, oh, did you? You're like. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Morning Motivational.
So a while ago, I was trying to work a joke where I said there's 2 things. Is I was saying as I get older, my balls hang lower. But
balls hang low.
time in a knot, can you time in a bow? Can you throw them over the shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your balls hang low?
Balls hang low.
How did you not able to mimic what I said? It was the tone was off. She was off on the timing. This was fucking great. If anything, it just proves my point. Anyways, so I was writing this joke about how when something that happens when fat guys dance, and then another one was that now during sex I get to play ball in the cup, except it's more like, can I get my testicles into your belly button? So I just let it swing like that, and I'm like, that's the joke, right? But I haven't actually, have I tried it? I think I thought it up during quarantine, so I haven't tried it yet. But it's essentially a whole big set.
The joke, or to actually put the balls in her belly button?
The joke. The joke. I haven't tried the joke. Every time I've had.
Have you tried the balls in the belly button?
Every time I've tried to swing them in there, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't work. My balls are neither. They're way too big to fit into a belly button. Number 1. Number 2, I don't have enough sack to get that swing. That's a long swing. That's a long swing. And Victoria's losing weight, so her belly button is getting higher as this happens. So it's not like I have to keep on reaching. It's not gonna work. It's not. if your balls can swing and hit a belly button, you should probably see a doctor.
Oh, or if they're on top and you're in a weird position and you can see the tip of their penis almost looking like it's coming out of your belly button. So that's fun. This is fun.
That's not fun. I'll tell you right now, that does not sound fun at all.
No, it's weird. It's actually weird.
Well, so I was watching Tom Segura's. I said this how I binge watched kind of a bunch of them, and while my back's been hurting, I've been just watching them. Right?
You know who you are. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing is he does a whole bit about guys who's 69 and they go on top, and you're like, yeah, that's not right. That's not right.
It's weird.
It's not just weird.
Although I just don't like 69.
Oh,
I know,
well, no.
like I love sex.
Yeah.
It's just awkward.
No, it's stupid.
I'm like,
he makes a great point.
It's just a weird thing.
Makes it,
like your nose is in their ball sack, or like if you're on top too. It's just like a weird. But like it's just like, and you can't concentrate.
Definitely
like,
true.
I want to give it my all, Like if I'm going down to make sure that I'm remembered.
Exactly, and that's his point.
So
he even said he goes when I finally got to. He was saying he was obsessed with 69. Like he would be like. Everything was 69. It's like, what do you want for Christmas? 69. And he's like, stop saying that. Like, it's just like, was rampant. And he's like, when I finally did, the first thing I said was, get off of me, all right? It's like, because he goes, number one, he goes, what are we late for something? Like, here, you blow me and then I'll take care of you. It's that, just take a turn. And so it makes complete logic.
You can enjoy it and you can do a good job.
Absolutely. And that's.
Because you can't do a good job and you can't enjoy it.
Absolutely.
So,
and then, like, on top of everything, like, it just goes back and forth, and he explains how it's, like, goes, and then you have these degenerates a guy who's like, I want a 69, and he'll, like, jump on top of a girl, and you're like, that is pure fucking evil. And it's just like, and then I was listening and going,
you don't know what to do.
But that's the thing, he goes,
because you can't.
He does this voice.
Like, you can't really, like, how am I supposed to do this?
Yeah, I know.
Like, you can't really give a blowjob. Like, how do you do it? You just lick the tip of it.
Well, no, the problem is he just jams his penis into your throat and just.
Oh.
And you just.
Ow. Yeah, no, see, that's not cool either. Like, I'm gonna, like.
It's not.
You're gonna bite
cool.
by accident. Like, or you're gonna maybe puke or something bad's gonna happen. Like,
that is not a good thing.
You gotta let the woman control that, or else it's just gonna go wrong. Because force it on her, she's gonna bite by accident, even if she loves you.
Well, and that's why he's like, he even said, he's like, he goes, yeah, and then all of a sudden they're like, what's on my forehead from the girl, and you're like, yeah, that is all balls. Like, that is a pair of Ray-Bons. You just,
but it's in your face the other way, anyways. If the girl's on top, it's like you have to, every time you put your head down, you're like, balls. Like
pretty much.
Like,
pretty much. It's not
nose in the balls.
Well, this is why you're like, it's a great bit, and I'm like,
and their ass crack. Like it's not a good situation.
Well, that's why I'm like, listen, I would never, like, I remember there was a couple times Victoria's like, why don't you try getting on top? I'm like, because I don't want to die, and I really don't want to kill you either. I'm like, that's really, I'm like. Anytime any girl's like, hey, you want to go on top? I'm like, do you want to survive the night? That's a bad idea. I'm like,
I'm not gonna even go there. I'm like, it's because they want to have, like, the man, like, I like when men try to, like, stop themselves from laying on top of you, you're like, don't. Like, I want to be, like, embedded, like, because you want their man power. That's what makes them a man. You're like, I want your man power all up in me. Like, I like them to be on top the whole time, though, because it's like, weird. It's like, okay, this has been romantic for long enough. Let's spice it up a little bit. Like, you've gazed into my eyes for long enough. Like, but you don't want it from behind for too long, because you're like, are we still together? Are we still in this to win it? Like, and then you don't really want to be on top the whole time, because, like, you want to, like, it's crampy sometimes, like, because you're like, and sometimes, like, it's just, you're like, it doesn't feel the same, so you're like, I don't know. You have to switch things.
I'm just gonna stay silent.
You gotta stand up. You gotta
just stay silent and let it just keep on talking. This is great.
Stand up, stretch out your legs, stand up. Like,
sure. Whatever you say, Crystal, just keep on talking. It'd be great. This is the hierarchy
Trying to get more
hierarchy
viewers.
of positions from Crystal. Was, hey, face-to-face is nice, but you got to switch it up. It's more like, hey, that's the romance part, so that's fine, and we'll just leave it at that. But
Well, that's how you get things going. You get things going, you got to enter that way too, or else it hurts. So you should enter that way. And then you get things going, and then you go crazy once it's all ready to go.
seems like a lot of work for 3 minutes of fun. I'm just...
It could be fun. It could be 3 minutes. It's
No,
possible.
see, this is what I...
You just gotta
like,
be fast.
I am a firm believer in get her off first, and then she'll let you get away with a lot more. That's my perspective. It's like, that's the advantage of having
because then you're doing everything.
magic fingers. Yeah. I'll ring that bell a couple times, and then I'm like, hey, why don't we do me? And they're like, whoa, okay. They can't see, fucking, they're blind.
Yeah.
Like, as long as I made you blind, we're good. I think that's a fair trade. I don't mean
get
that
it.
by
Could've
me
been like
making
that.
somebody blind. I mean, like, orgasming so hard you go blind, just to be clear. Which, surprisingly, is actually a thing. Who knew?
Is it really masturbation?
I have no idea what's happening. She's frozen. She's slowly laughing and then slowly tilting all at the same time. It's kind of going... da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's very exciting.
What?
No, I'm just saying...
Oh, was you bitching about our technology again?
No, I thought it was just funny.
Did we have a
because
glitch?
you laugh and you're like, and she makes a full circle.
It's my robot.
I was actually thinking of doing it. The best part is then she starts to try and do the robot, and it's the worst type of robot. It's not even. It's just so bad. I forget, we were watching a show yesterday and Victoria tried to do a dance and I'm like, what the fuck was that? She's like, there was a dance. I'm like, that's not a dance. You don't know how to dance, you're a bad dancer. Straight up. The funny thing is she's very musically inclined.
Oh, I love dancing.
I enjoy dancing thoroughly, but I just don't like dancing when I'm this fat. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But that's just my thing.
No, you should get your groove on. Gives you more to shake.
That's not true either. We are almost out of time, Crystal. You've been talking about sex for this long.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. We just call it. This is
subscribers, Dino.
We're not going to debase ourselves for more subscribers. We're just going to keep on doing it until we get more
I really want to live in a
subscribers.
tree house sooner than later. This whole living in society thing is getting to me. I'm going fishing today
Are you going
because I
fishing?
need to get out. Yeah, I really am. I gotta find a place that's nice and peaceful, and I really want to go fishing. I'm having a day, and I really just want to go out and be on the water, feel by myself, and sit on a dock and fish, catch some friends. Oh, he froze, so now he's gonna say something about freezing. I hope he comes back before it, or else he'll just end it without our motivational thing, or he'll say the motivational thing, and then I won't be included. He'll be mean, because he's mean like that, and I think he secretly beats babies. Eats babies for sure.
What the fuck, Crystal?
So what's your motivation for the day, Dino?
It's going to start by saying that you can't trust people when you're having technical difficulties, number one, because they're all assholes, every last one of them. You know what? Something.
Oh, I'm stretching my legs. I'm stretching.
I know, but that's not really how it sounded. It sounded like, my legs.
Oh.
Instead of, I'm just going to stretch my legs.
That's what I said.
I know. That's why. It's horribly inappropriate. Anyways, morning motivation. This happened to me this morning. A friend reached out and just kind of asked how I was doing, and I was like, I still feel like participating in a murderous rampage on a daily basis, but I haven't killed anyone yet, so that's nice. And everyone is healthy in the household, so that's nice too. And I said, how are you and your family? And he went on to explain it, and then he was like, and I'm ashamed to repeat this, he was like, I'd love to hear from you on days when it's not just me wanting a big hug. Because I responded to him and I'm like, hey man, don't worry. Like, we all have bad days and stuff like that. And I said to myself, I go, you know what? That's bad on my part. And it just made me think that, like, I'm bad in the sense that I reach out to people if I have something to talk about them. Like, if I have something to talk about, I will reach out. If I don't have anything to talk about, I don't reach out in general. And that there's like a lot of layers to it. For me, I feel like if I'm just calling somebody, hey man, what's up? How are you? I feel like I'm impeding on their day, and I feel like I'm being a nuisance. And this goes back to just years of being the youngest child. I was always a nuisance, right? That was the standard, right? And you know, that's the one thing is like even talking, like calling my mom on a regular basis, calling friends on a regular basis, and we'll chat and I'll send memes and stuff, but it's not the same as going, hey, you know, how are you doing? And I realized that that's I didn't feel bad about it necessarily. It's more so that I had to acknowledge that, you know, especially during this time where I've been preaching for people to stay in contact with their loved ones and do that, you know, I have work on myself to do in that matter, is that because we want to talk with people, and especially we get back into that whole work mode of things where it's like when you finally have an activity, you don't want to stop mid-activity because it kind of gives you that memory of working full-time and being busy and that excitement of everything, because we've been denied that for so many months, right? And so even still, people will call and reach out, and we'll stand there and go, oh, well, I'm busy right now, right? Because we have that high of, I'm doing something, I'm so active, right? And it's rewarding. It is a rewarding feeling of having activity, and it's one of the reasons why we started doing this, where it's like, you know what, I think we can do this on a daily basis, let's fucking do it, right? But I think it's something that, I know it sounds crazy or too controlled, maybe too invasive, but I would encourage people to maybe set a reminder on your phone, is like to reach out like twice a week, like say Mondays and Thursdays, to have an alarm in your phone to reach out to people you haven't talked to in a week. That's it. Just reach out to them. Just send them a message. You know what? Send them a message on WhatsApp or a text message, or, you know, because I know I don't like talking on the phone at all, like, period. It's hard enough talking with this one on a daily basis for more than an hour. It drives me crazy.
He misses me.
But
anyways, keep your line.
But that's the whole thing, is that, you know, saying, hey, I should reach out, like, and you know what, listen, I'm not saying we should be calling each other every day and be like, hey, what's up? You know, like, it's a lot, because I have a friend who does that, and I'm like, what do you want? Fuck off, leave me alone. But that matters to me, and I care about it, and when I don't talk to that person for a couple days, I feel weird. So something to consider, guys, is that, you know, having those kind of reminders in your phone, I'm going to put 2 in my phone just because I think that leaving things longer than just 1 week, you know, it's a little bit much, but saying like once every other week or something where you try and just reach out to the important people in your life, just be like, hey, it's the idea of an everything's okay alarm. And in these circumstances, what we're going through and everything, I think that really is something that can matter a lot more than we realize that it matters. But that's really all I got to say. Crystal, where can everybody find you?
Okay, I'm gonna make us go over for a minute. I'm terrible at reaching out to people, and I'm just learning how to do that because I've never had, and I think that's because I've never had anybody in my life long enough that like that was our relationship type of thing, you know, that like they like check up on me and I check up on, I'm not good at it, and I'm not good at, it's like, and I always want something to precede them with, so that way they're proud of me, because I'm always afraid that people are disappointed in me, or people are, you know, or that they only want to hear from me if something good's happening, because I never hear from them until I'm doing something good. So I figure if I do something good, then they'll want to, and I just want people to be proud almost, like, you know, so I unless I have something good going on, then I don't want to until I get there, you know, until I get there, and then I feel confident enough to approach people or to message people with something. And there are people I regret not. I've got to get good at being
sure what's happening right now, guys.
with
Sorry.
people, having relationships with other human beings, like actual like friendships.
There we go.
All that. But anyways, I'm Crystal Morency, Simply Me on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, Crystal Morency and Dino. Bum, ba, da, bum.
Hey guys, Dino the Genetic Marvel here. I am available on YouTube, on Instagram. I have a Facebook fan page. I have a Twitter account that I don't really use, but you can do that too. But Morning Motivational Rant on YouTube. We have notifications on Instagram. As well, we have a Facebook fan page, so please feel free. As well, we do audio podcasts on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. Please like, share, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
In the meantime, guys, stay motivated. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Whoops.